laughing the whole time. Sorry. I'm
We
sorry.
could be.
Could you please repeat the question?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Infocus. Today we've got a superstar in the streaming world, one of my friends, and someone who, with her charisma, skills, and unapologetic authenticity, has curated one of my favorite communities on Twitch. Whether she's talking about her favorite Backstreet Boy or celebrating someone in her community, she's always a great time to hang out with and have a laugh. So, get ready to be inspired, entertained, or maybe just have a laugh or two with us. SissyThatGame is here to share her story, passion for streaming, and make me cry in laughter. One thing's for sure, this interview is going to be a game changer. See what I did there, Sissy? It's like SissyThatGame, but like game changer, you know? Yeah, you know. You know. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this chat with my friend, SissyThatGame. Sissy, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I like to get started by asking a question that, a lot of people have asked me. Actually, what got you into streaming?
So, do you want the long story or the short story? I guess it's kind of a short, long story.
Okay.
Kind of both, maybe. So I always have loved video games. I mean, you know this about me. And I would play video games on my days off from work, so much so that like when my husband would come home, I'd be like, "Oh, you want to like play video games with me?" And he'd be like, "You mean watch you play the video game as you talk to me about the video game?" And I go, "Yeah." And he says, "No, not really." And I was like, "Oh man." So then I found out that there's this thing called Twitch, and there was a thing called Mixer. What's Mixer? Now that it's long and gone.
A few moments later.
Anyway, the point is, found out, looked into more about like what streaming world looked like. And I thought, man, that sounds kind of fun, playing a video game, talking to people about the video game. That's what I want to do. And my husband won't join me. And so I started streaming.
Sorry.
This is going to be so bad.
A few moments later.
What's really cool is that my husband has always been really supportive of me doing this. And
Right.
I think for me, it was like, there's a lot that goes into it. So I said, okay, you know what? You're crying.
A little bit.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna give myself 3 months. I'm gonna get a bunch of this stuff. Like I'm gonna get, at the time I was only thinking I was gonna stream from my PlayStation, which is really funny now. But I'm gonna go and get a, what do you call it? The thing that connects the PlayStation.
Oh, the capture card.
Capture card.
Yeah.
Hey, good. I was like, yeah, I'll get a capture card and I'll get a computer and I'll get 3 months. I'll give myself 3 months and see if I even like it or if I'm enjoying myself or if other people are enjoying the channel and stuff. And we're nearly 4 years into it. Obviously, it lasted more than 3 months. I fell in love with what I was doing, and I love the community that was building up around me, that has been built up around me. And the funniest part is talking to my husband, and he's like, yeah, I'm really glad she found streaming because she found people to talk to about the video games. and this why now we watch The Bachelorette in the Discord, right? Mm-hmm. So he said to me too, he's like, thank you, Sissy Hood, for watching The Bachelorette with her so that I don't have to.
It's kind of funny because you have these Bachelorette nights, and yeah, I remember the first time this was ever brought up, I was like, hard pass, not doing it, not interested. And then it was like, I kind of felt like I would hear you talking about it on your stream, and I was like, man, I am missing out. So I did hop over, and now I am a fan. So thank you for making me a fan of the show.
You're so welcome.
It has been a lot of fun to get into, but that's kind of funny.
Another one on the Bachelor Nation list. Join the fam. Yeah, no, I love the group of people that joins us for that, and I'm glad that you've made that part of your schedule because it's so fun.
It's a good time. You got started streaming on Mixer, right? Like, what's Mixer?
What's Mixer?
What's Mixer?
I thought you were. Are you asking that earnestly? What's Mixer?
No, I was also on Mixer briefly.
Oh, that's right. You're a blueberry.
I was a blueberry on Mixer. To be fair, I don't think Twitch does blueberry. I don't know what you call them on Twitch. But like I was a blueberry on Mixer, and I thought it was funny to hear like can I play? Because it was, as a blueberry, you would see stuff like that all the time from fellow blueberries. So yeah. So it was really bad for like learning etiquette on in regards to streaming. Anyways, you got started on Mixer, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest differences you've seen between like the two different platforms?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the thing that I miss the most, and I know I've talked about it on stream before too, is this thing where it was almost like an instant interaction between streamer and chat. There was really almost no delay. When obviously we're all on Twitch here, we know there can be delays up to like 10 seconds sometimes. So that's probably the thing I miss the most. I would say one of the biggest differences is like, well, at least at the time, I thought one of the biggest differences was that Mixer was smaller and more intimate, and you had more of a chance to get to know people versus Twitch, which had already become this colossal giant of the streaming world. Nobody was gonna go up against Twitch unless it was Mixer, and so Mixer was like the little David and Goliath story, So I do think that looking back now, I'm honestly thankful that Mixer went down the way that it did, because I wouldn't have come to Twitch, and you would still be a blueberry that streamed on there twice. You'd moved to Twitch, and then I would have never met you. And look how much you've grown, little blueberry. So I just, I wouldn't have been able to see that evolution. There's just so many people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And I think I also wouldn't have learned that, there's trolls everywhere. But something that I didn't like is that trolls were able to whisper me on Mixer. Anybody could whisper a streamer at any time on Mixer. There wasn't this like non-ability to do that, and that's something that I do not miss whatsoever, because that is a terrible, terrible thing to have open to the
just
public.
Anybody. Yeah.
Shout out to my OGs. You guys know who you are. Mixer served its purpose, and I think that's the biggest tip of my hat that I can give to Mixer is thank you for being around when you were, and that I had the time that I had there with you so that I could meet some very important people in my life, and I could learn the basics of streaming with those people who helped the founders, if you will, of my community. To bring it over to Twitch. I'm very, very grateful that during that the week of grieving that Mixer was goodbye, and whether or not I was going to go to Twitch, I'm very grateful that I had people saying, Sissy, we're with you. Do it, Sissy. And I'm also very grateful, YB, that I made an account on Twitch, and I streamed one day on Twitch before I went to Mixer. I streamed one day. Have I told you this story?
No, this is new.
Oh, okay. So, I had made my account. I'm really glad I made my account, because you don't know what kind of trolls are gonna go like, oh, Mixer shut down, let me try to steal this screen name from this streamer, right? So I had made a Twitch account. I streamed for one day, then I moved to Mixer. That one day that I streamed, it was directly from my PlayStation. I had one viewer. Starting at about 3 minutes in, I was playing. Oh, what was I playing? Heavy Rain. I was playing Heavy Rain. One viewer. They stayed the whole 2 hours. They followed me. They still follow me. I've never seen them since. They could be a bot. But shout out to my homie. Their name is Fire, and with a bunch of numbers. Curry's gonna kill me for this. And I tell Curry all the time, I'm like, you're not my first follower on Twitch, Curry, because there's Fire, whatever, who's been following me since you knew me on Mixer. But yeah, I'm grateful for the time that I had on Mixer. I'm grateful that it helped me build the first blocks of what we have now with the Sissyhood. So
out of all of the info that you'd like taken in through watching all of these these Twitch how-to videos, what's one thing that you wish you would have known when you first got started?
Well, I'm actually going to take a book, like a piece from one of my friend's books recently, because somebody asked her a question and I really liked her answer. Choose your mods wisely. I think that's a really, really great piece of advice. And at least for me, consistency. I say it all the time. You know this about me, YB. We are friends. You know that I believe consistency gets a bad rep as, oh, predictable. And it's like, no, dude, consistency is hot because you know what you're getting with a person. You know who they are. They stick with it. If they do something way out of character, you're like, whoa, what? You know, you don't question what's going on with, like, whether or not they're honesty, integrity, and consistency are very important to me. And so for me, I was just like, I don't care what happens here as long as I'm having a good time and I'm being myself. And I want to create a community around those ideals. So let's have a great time with each other. Let's respect each other, and let's be honest and not be jackasses, even though the world is filled with jackasses. And trust me, I've dealt with my share of jackasses. But at the end of the day, like, my pillar was very much, this is my commitment to you guys, that I'm going to be the same person. I'm going to hold myself to the same standards. And over time, my community has built around that to a place where I don't even have to be like, hey, mods, can you, Curry's already banned them. You know, it's because you guys know, even my mods, my community knows what is acceptable and what isn't. And I think there's something to really, really beautiful and really, really cool about that. So I would say be consistent, because I think there's something missing when you have a lack of vision. If you don't have a lack of vision of what you want in your channel, your community isn't gonna know what the vision. They're not gonna know. How are you supposed to continue on with a mission without a vision? And how are some people supposed to know that with you? So I think being very aware of what you want to do and being who you are and not straying from that is going to help you build the right type of people around you. It might take longer. It might not look the way that you think it will. You might go through different types of heartaches than someone who doesn't interact with their community. You just got to know what works for you. So for me, I knew that I wanted community over anything else. I was like, this is about the people that are going to be here. So I don't want that riff-raff unless it's fun riff-raff. Shout out to Blues Brat. So like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, I just, having a vision of what you want to do with this and being authentic with that vision and not changing it just because maybe somebody else has come in and been like, oh, but, and you're like, no, this is what it means to be here. Either that works for you or it doesn't. So I hope that has answered that question.
It definitely did. And thank you so much for being so open about it. You know, you bring up, you know, people like attracting what you are essentially is what I was gathering from that. Do you have like a favorite game or favorite game series that you've played?
So Final Fantasy X is my all-time favorite game. It's really hard for me to decide on that. I've talked about it ad nauseum in my channel when I'm asked this question. So YB already knew the answer to this when he asked it. But Final Fantasy X, at the end of the day, it has everything that I would hope for in a game. And on top of that, it has the nostalgia of being one of the first games that I ever played multiple times over. I cry every single time I play it. I still haven't gotten to play it with the Sissyhood, but I will. So I love Final Fantasy. I love Kingdom Hearts. I love, oh gosh, I love RPGs and the stories they tell. I loved Tales of Exilia, those series back in the day. I love scary games. I love games. I loved the Walking Dead Telltale series. Loved that
I
series.
love the Telltale series.
Oh god, they just did games so well. I love the Batman games too. I love choice-based games, and I love interesting artwork. I'll just add to those might be some of my favorite series, but I know I'm forgetting stuff too. Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame is one of my favorite series of all time. Fatal Frame 2 is my favorite scary game ever. I also love Silent Hill 3. So I am really into my scary games as well. But when it comes to like choosing a series, I guess I really got to go with my Final Fantasy stuff, and my Kingdom Hearts is just nostalgia on top of that as well. But games that I'm excited for coming out, Alan Wake 2.
Oh, okay.
Alan Wake 2. Homies. I know there's people watching this right now that are like, yes, okay. So I hear you. Okay. I loved Alan Wake. I played it for the first time ever on stream with the Sissyhood, and I thought that game was brilliant, and it was dark and interesting, and 100% the fact that they're making Alan Wake 2, I'm like, this was way too late for me. I'm ready. I was ready. I was ready yesterday and the day before, and you know where this is going. So I'm also excited for a game. It says planned release date to be announced, but it's called Post Trauma. And it says Post Trauma is a horror game inspired by genre-defining classics of the past decades. Play as Roman, a middle-aged train conductor trapped in a terrifyingly twisted reality. I love stuff like that. Indigo Prophecy back when that first came out, loved it because it's choice-based game, it's action, it's dark, it's interesting. Detroit Become Human, those types of games I really enjoy.
Such a good game.
Yeah. So I love good storytelling. I love interesting characters that I can become attached to. I love games that allow for different types of conversations between gamers to happen. I love that type of stuff because it isn't just about the media itself of me enjoying the experience. It's about us enjoying the experience together and talking about what worked, what didn't work, what I thought was flawed, what you thought was flawed, what we thought was incredible, characters that get forgotten about, or characters just one type of plot point. And I just love that type of stuff. You know me, YB. I love that type of connection that games allow for gamers to have. And because it isn't just about the game itself, it isn't just about the visuals, it isn't just about the mechanics, which sometimes can be annoying as hell. I've played games where the mechanics are annoying as the Dickens, and I am not cussing on purpose. You don't have to bleep me out, YB.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
Annoying as the Dickens. Alice, the original Alice game, for example.
The controls are insane.
But I loved the story. I loved the world that I was transported in, and I loved the type of conversations that I could have with members of the community who watched me play it. And that's the type of stuff that I always get really excited for. That's why my wish list is a million long, you know. That's why I have an unplayed game list the size of a elephant. So I'm excited for these two, but I know there's others coming out as well that I'm excited for. Those just off the top of my head are two that I'm really looking forward to.
Sissy, thank you again so much for doing this with me. I had a lot of fun. There were a lot of laughs. You actually made me cry. I was laughing so hard for a minute there. You want to rewind, you'll definitely see me wiping the tears from my face. But I had a great time. Thank you again for taking the time to sit with me and have a little conversation about your experience, not just on Twitch, but on Mixer and your streaming journey altogether.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to you. Is there anything that you would like to, let people know about your channel or your content?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me. Thanks for wanting me to be part of your series. That I was overjoyed that you wanted me to be a part of this. So thank you. I feel like I'm always really bad at doing this part because I'm awkward. But my name's Sissy. I've been I stream on Twitch. I used to stream on Mixer, but what's Mixer? And now I'm on Twitch, and you can hang out with me and YB in my channel and in YB's channel as well, because I'm there too. I play games like Elden Ring, which I'm playing right now, if you see this at the time this came out. Elden Ring, I play Resident Evil games. I just got gifted Baldur's Gate 3. What's up? I play visual novels. I play indie games. I'm all over the map, and I have a really strong and fun and comforting and inclusive community that I'm really, really proud of. So if you're looking for kind of a whoa, there's a lot going on here vibe, but there's a lot of love and fun and realness going on at you too, amongst all the lights and pink glitter stuff. I hope that you come by and say hi and tell me that you've met us through YB's video, because I will think that's really, really cool. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time, YB. I hope you have a fabulous night. We lost track of time because we were having such a good time. So
We did. It was so much fun.
I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the channel.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Probably tomorrow.
Thank you all for joining us today for this fun conversation with the one and only my friend SissyThatGame. Sissy, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences, insights, and enthusiasm for gaming and content creation. Everyone go check out my friend Sissy over on Twitch. Her links are in the description down below. And thanks again for joining me on another episode of Infocus. We'll see you next time.